Hi everyone, Petrik here. Today's video will be about my February book haul. So in February, I managed to acquire a total of 30 books. So yeah, it's a lot of books. And if you are not a fan of book haul videos, make sure to skip watching this video now. But many of you have mentioned that you guys would love to see me keep on posting book haul videos to see all the special edition books that I get each month. And well, I will be talking about them this month. So I will try to be brief as possible because I'm talking about 30 books here. 30 books, if I spend 1 minute on each, this video will be actually 30 minutes long. So yeah, I will try to cut this as short as possible. But before we talk about all the novels and also all the special edition books that I got, I want to start by talking about this special thing that I received. And this is actually a magazine published by Grimdark Magazine. So this is issue number 45. So this is the 45th volume. Grimdark Magazine, for those of you who don't know, have been publishing a lot of great reviews in the adult science fiction and fantasy genre for quite a while now. Not only that, I think romantasy and also YA fantasy as well, even though their company name is Grimdark Magazine, but they have been existing in the fantasy and sci-fi industry for a while now. But now, for the first time ever, they are publishing their magazine in physical format, and this is their first ever physical format of their publication. This magazine, in about 100 pages long, it consists of many content. First, it opens with this editor's note from Beth Tabler. I managed to meet Beth during WorldCon 2024. Great person, great individual, and also great reviewer. And here you can see the table of contents. So inside this magazine, it contains article, interview with authors, book reviews, and also several other articles as well. In about 100 pages, you can get a lot of great contents inside this single magazine. For example, I'm going to show you here. This machine kills billionaires. This is an article by T.R. Napper. And after you're done with that, we also have an interview with Sarah Moses. But that's not all. And this is probably something that many of you want to know. Well, here we have an interview with the one and only Jim Butcher. Ta-da! As some of you probably know already by now, Jim Butcher is the author behind the Codex Alera series and of course the super popular urban fantasy series, The Dresden Files. And yeah, if you want to know more details about how to get yourself a copy of this magazine, I've put the link to subscribe to their quarterly magazines in the description down below. But if you are a subscriber of The Broken Binding, you can add one of these magazines to your subscription as well without paying extra cost. And I think that's an incredible deal. And yeah, if you want to know more about Grimdark Magazine, they also have a YouTube channel where they post high quality content of interviews and also excerpts from a book. And yeah, make sure to check them out. And I just want to say thank you so much to Grimdark Magazine for actually sponsoring today's video. I've been an admirer of their content for quite a while now, and I think it's impressive that I got to collaborate with them on this channel. But moving on to the books that I bought, first we have My Hero Academia Volume 42. This is the last volume of My Hero Academia, one of my favorite manga series of all time, and the anime, the final season, it was absolutely incredible as well. And of course, I just have to get myself a copy of Volume 42 and pretty much every volume in My Hero Academia because I just love this series so much, and I know I will be doing another reread of this series in the future. And moving on to the next one, we have Wheel of Wrath by A.A. Vora. So this is supposed to be a Naruto or an Indian-inspired epic fantasy series. And yeah, I haven't read the first book yet. I know that plenty of booktubers have actually reviewed the first book very positively, and I haven't heard anybody else talking about this series in quite a while. And I saw this cover art by Siddharth Chaturvedi, and I'm a big fan of Siddharth artwork. He did a lot of great artwork on Aragon Illustrated Edition by Paulini, so I just have to get myself a copy of Wheel of Wrath as well. And I look forward to reading this book and also this series for the first time. The title of the first book is Spin of Fate, if I'm not mistaken. And next, the remaining 3 books that I bought that arrived in the month of February. This is for the Sword of Shadow series by J.V. Jones. So this is for book 2, book 3, and book 4, Fortress of Grey Eyes, which is this one. Look at this classic cover. I think this looks awesome. And then we have Sword from Red Eyes, which is the 3rd book. And finally, Watcher of the Dead. So yeah, I think this series, I believe, is supposed to be underrated. It was quite a popular during the publication year of the series Sword of Shadows, but because the author took a long break from publishing Lords, the 5th book in the series, I think the popularity kind of died down. But I heard so many great things from those who have actually read this epic fantasy series. Many have mentioned that if you love A Song of Ice and Fire, and this is not just a marketing device, well, many have said that if we love A Song of Ice and Fire, we will have a great time reading the Sword of Shadow series by J.B. Jones, and I look forward to doing that. But that's about it for the books that I bought. Let's talk about the self-published fantasy books that I got last month. First, we have Heart of Flesh by Matthew Wolff. This is book number 5 in the Ronin Saga series, and yeah, just like the first 4 hardcovers in the Ronin Saga series, this comes with the new edges of the Ronin in the series, and just like always, look at this beautiful end paper. Yeah, this comes with a colored end paper map and plenty of interior illustrations as well, such as this one. Look at this beautiful chapter headers. And that's not all. I'm actually very impressed with Matthew Wolff's production. And although this doesn't come with Smithson binding or acid-free paper, I still think that, look at this. This is just so beautiful. I just think that he did a great job in putting all the value he can into the production of his self-published fantasy hardcovers. And I haven't read Ronin Saga yet. I heard some great things about this series, and I really need to get around to reading this eventually. I have all the hardcovers of the series after all. And next, these are not technically self-published fantasy books, but these used to be self-published, if I'm not mistaken. So this is Runeseeker by J.M. Clark and also C.J. Thompson. But this is published by Ethan Books. And I just want to say thank you so much to Ethan Books for sending me this beautiful hardcover edition. Look at this. Although this is a standard hardcover, but it's just so floppy. This is why US hardcover, they are just so fun to read for me. Ever since I started reading US hardcovers, well, this is the foil format, the foil design. But yeah, back to my point, US hardcover is just better to read than UK hardcover in general. Generally speaking, some UK hardcovers have this kind of floppy tendency as well. And then another one that I got, it is Mark of the Fool by J.M. Clark. Again, this is a light novel. This is a light novel version of the novel being published by Ethan Books as well. And this basically looks similar to many publications by Yen Press and EZ Press, basically light novel in Japan. And yeah, I look forward to reading Mark of the Fool. The series has been completed, not the light novel version, but the novel version has been completed. And I heard many great things for those of us who actually love reading progression fantasy and also Academy, a Battle School or Magic Academy in our fantasy reading. But now let's talk about the books that I got from traditional publishers, and then we will talk about all the special editions that I got last month. There's a lot to talk about. For the first 4, these are all from Saga Press, and I just want to say thank you so much to Saga Press for sending me these books. First, we have Vale by J.P. Lacrampe, and yeah, this one is being published in the month of June. I don't know anything about this one. This is an unsolicited copy, but when I checked the Goodreads reviews, the ARC reviews for this one so far, it has been incredibly positive. So maybe this is based on what I've read here. This is supposed to be a charming, fun, and also cozy reading experience. And then we have this. Ta-da! I think this will probably be a great read. This is Push the Wall by Frank Miller. So this is an autobiography by Frank Miller, you know, the author behind so many iconic titles such as Sin City, Batman The Dark Knight Returns 300, and Daredevil, and many more. So yeah, I look forward to reading this one as well. And then we have The Republic of Memory by Mahmoud El-Sayed. This is recommended to those of us who enjoyed reading a memory called Empire, just like me. Although I still need to finish reading that duology. But yeah, I really enjoyed a memory called Empire. And ever since I saw this being announced, I've been waiting to read this one as well. On the back, it is said, don't wait for the revolution. It takes place every day. The crew aboard the generation ship begins to question why they should toil for a people and an empire. None of them remember. So yeah, that's the premise of the Republic of Memories. And finally, we have this one, The Sixth Nick by Kraus. I, again, know nothing about this one. This is part of an unsolicited copy, but on the back it is said that destiny cannot be implanted. With Sisila, the 55th Nifakok, raised to save the Tri-World and reclaim a planet, raised to do her duty, raised to die. But centuries of strategy will change in the literal blink of an eye. So yeah, this might sound really good for those of us who like reading sci-fi and space opera. But moving on to the next book, we have Honor and Heresy by Max Francis. This is, I believe, a Gothic Academia novel, debut novel. And Harper Voyager sent me a copy of this one. Look at this beautiful cover art by Jorge Jacinto or JJ Canvas if you are on Instagram. And yeah, this is a beautiful cover art, beautiful typography design as well. On the top it is here written, "What is love without its tragedy?" But I think the author actually mentioned that romance is not a big part. It's not too much of a big part of Honor and Heresy. The Gothic Academia novel is a bigger aspect. And yeah, I think that sounds great to me. And finally, the last book that I got from traditional publisher, and this will actually lead to special edition aspect. This is again another copy of The Poet Empress by Chantal. And yeah, look at this. This is the UK hardcover edition. This comes with this beautiful foil all around the wraparound cover art illustration by Yohei Horishita. And yeah, look, this is very different as far as cover art goes compared to the US cover art. And there are many great things about this series, about this standalone novel, and I will be reading this for the first time, probably right now after I actually post this video. But speaking of Poet Empress, let's talk about special editions. And of course, again, this is a copy, my fourth copy of the Poet Empress. And yeah, this is absolutely beautiful edition. I cannot praise this edition highly enough. This is published by Illumicrate. So this is an Illumicrate edition. This comes with this gorgeous cover art, gorgeous design by Kelly Chong. But that's not all. This is not the only great things about this one. This edges, and then look at this. This beautiful end paper by Grace 2. And then we also have this board. Everything about this design, the overall design of this edition, I think it is one of the best, if not the best publication from Illumicrate so far. And yeah, this edition of the Poet Empress will definitely be the edition that I use to read for my first time reading of the Poet Empress. But speaking of Illumicrate, another copy of Illumicrate book that I got, it's actually Katabasis by R.F. Kuang. So this is, I think, my fourth copy of Katabasis right now. And yeah, this comes with this slipcase, and then we have, ta-da, the naked hardcover and also the back hardcover. This is all done by Mary Metzgertz. And yeah, the edges as well. I love this edition. I think it is a beautiful edition. The edition that I did for the broken binding is very different as far as design goes compared to what Illumicrate is doing. But I think that's what's special about all the editions for Katabasis, whether it's the Fairy Loot, Illumicrate, or the Broken Binding. They are also different, but their front page, whether it's the slipcase or not the reversible aspect, they are similar, but at the same time, different as well. And I think that's really cool. Yeah, this edition is really nice. Thank you so much to Illumicrate for sending me a copy of the Poet Empress and also Katabasis. And before we start talking about all the broken binding books that I got, I want to show the first 3 books that I ever received from OwlCrate. And these are for Travis Baldry's books. Legends and Lattes, and then of course, Bookshops and Bone Dust, and finally, Brigands and also Bread Knives. This is actually the only book by Travis Baldry that I haven't read yet. But I am so impressed by OwlCrate quality. Apparently, not only they are going all out with their artwork, well, this actually comes with acid-free paper and also soon binding. And that's amazing. And as I said, they are going all out with their illustrations. I cannot praise this edition highly enough. Legends and Lattes, and also every book in the series. And I look forward to owning more copies of OwlCrate edition. So take a look at this. First, we have this foil. This is being done by my friend Kate, and I think Kate did a great job he also did the art direction for this edition. So kudos to him. I know how hard and how difficult things can be when working on this kind of edition with so many aspects. This is the end papers, and inside we have many interior artwork. I'm going to show you one of them one or two of them here. And you know what? There's something even more special about the interior artwork here. They are fully colored. So that's amazing. That's incredible. And yeah, all three books, whether it's Bookshops and Bondas or Brigands and Breadknives, comes with this kind of specs. Look at this. All of them are fully colored. And then, of course, this is the back and paper. And yeah, there is also reversible dust jacket. So it is impressive. As I said, they are going all out, and I just want to say amazing work to Kate and also to the OwlCrate team. To all the artists involved in this project as well. I'm already looking forward to owning the fourth book in Legends and Lattes, the OwlCrate edition. But if you want to get a copy of Legends and Lattes or the other OwlCrate edition, well, I have put the link in the description down below. And if you buy a copy of OwlCrate edition for using my link, you will get discount and I will get commission as well. So again, it's a win-win situation. Thank you so much to OwlCrate for sending me review copies of this beautiful looking book. I really, really love everything that is put into this OwlCrate edition. Well done. And now let's talk about the Broken Binding books that I got last month. First, we have A God of Countless Guises by Bradley Beaulieu. So this one just came out recently, I think in the month of February. So this is a Dragon Rider epic fantasy, supposedly a complex Dragon Rider epic fantasy. The first book, The Dragons of Deepwood Fern, received some criticisms because of how complex it was. But readers who managed to get into the complexity and also the intricacies of the POV characters managed to enjoy this Dragon Rider epic fantasy. And I look forward to reading this series eventually. And then next we have something that I have actually read. This is Dead Man in the Ditch by Luke Arnold. So yeah, this is the sequel to The Last Mile in the Thunder City. Highly recommended to those of you who love detective and also noir story in your urban fantasy reading. I give both first two books in the series 4 stars, 4 out of 5 stars rating. It was really enjoyable. I think I haven't read the third book in the series yet. I think the title is One Foot in the Fate, if I'm not mistaken. And for the next 3 books that I got from the Broken Binding, these are books that I actually worked on. And this is, of course, for the Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells. This is a combination of Volume 1 and Volume 2. So this is the first 4 volumes in the Murderbot Diaries series. So yeah, this comes with this beautiful cover art by Micah Epstein, one of my favorite artists of all time. And I'm really blessed and glad that I got to work with him. And also Peng Lu. Peng Lu is working on the end papers. But this edition, this comes with a foil and also typography by Rachel St. Clair. But yeah, this edition, it took a lot to work. It took a lot out of me to work because this requires a lot of coordination, a lot of brief, and also, yeah, as I said, a lot of management. And I'm really glad with the result. This comes with acid-free paper and Smithsoon binding as well. And this is the cover art of the 3rd volume. But this is supposed to be read after network effect. But this is probably my favorite cover art of the 3. Look at this. Micah did such an outstanding job on this wraparound cover art. But here's one more. This is Network Effect. And yeah, this is my favorite title in the entire Murderbot Diaries so far. And this one should be you should read this one after the 4th book, Exit Strategy. And yeah, I really love Network Effect. I think this is the best book in the series so far. But yeah, I'm really happy with the reception and also many people's happiness with receiving the Murderbot Diaries. As I said, it took a lot to work on this one, a lot of coordination and management, and I'm really glad that everything printed really nicely for this edition. And then for the last two Broken Binding books that I got, first we have Operation Bounce House by Matt Dinniman. So this one, cover art by Jeff Brown and also board art by Peng Lu. Again, I actually talk about this one in my noteworthy release video, but we went all chaotic with the typography and also the design, the overall design, because this is Matt Dinniman's books. It just fits with his books really, whether it's this one or Dungeon Crawler Carl. And then finally, we have a copy of The Bone Shard Emperor. So this is the fantasy subscription for the month of February. So this one comes with the beautiful, absolutely beautiful cover art by Dunlin Zhang. Look at this. This is just gorgeous. We managed to put spot UV to the main figure in the front cover, and of course emboss and also silver foil on the typography. And yeah, look at this. This is a wraparound cover art. This is the edges. And then we have this beautiful end papers by Aileen Kai-Hing Kwan. And then on the back as well, we went with Chinese mural for the art direction for this one. And this is the board art by Patsy Lascano. And yeah, I'm really happy with this one. Of course, this is probably one of the best design, if not the best looking overall design for the fantasy subscription for the broken binding, in my opinion, to date. And again, I'm super thrilled and thankful with the artist for working with me and Eon on the edition of The Drowning Empire by Andrea Stewart. And now we arrive at the final two books and the final two special editions I want to talk about in today's video. And they are both being published by Folio Society. And yeah, the first one is The God Emperor of Dune. Look at that. This is the slipcase and this is the book. They actually changed artists for this one. This is the artwork here being done by Grace Aldrich, but they managed to keep the overall design so cohesive with all the previous books, even though the first book is being done by Sam Weber, and then the second and the third book, Dune Messiah and Children of Dune, they changed artists again. So this is the third artist working on their edition of Dune. And yeah, this is of course a beautiful edition. And yeah, I'm so pumped to watch Dune Part 3 this year. Honestly, it's one of my most anticipated movie of the year. And of course, this is one of the interior artwork inside this edition of The God Emperor of Dune. I have no idea what the book is about, by the way. I haven't read this book yet, but this looks so damn trippy. Look at this. Look at this artwork. And yeah, beautiful artwork by Grace Aldrich. And finally, the last book. So this is actually a birthday present from my wife, and this is The Book Thief. Yeah, The Book Thief by, look at this, by Markus Zusak. And yeah, this is, ta-da! It's beautiful. I haven't actually read The Book Thief yet. I have watched the movie adaptation, but I have never actually read the book. I heard the book is even better than the movie, which is impressive because I think the movie is already amazing. But the illustrations inside here, they are just so breathtakingly beautiful and fitting to the narrative in The Book Thief. And I look forward to reading this book for the first time. And hopefully I will end up enjoying this more than watching the movie. But if you have read the book, The Book Thief, and also have watched it, let me know what you think about them both. Which one do you prefer, the book or the movie adaptation? Because sometimes the movie actually can do a better job than the original text. Sometimes, not always. Most of the time, books always win, but sometimes the book can be inferior compared to the movie or the TV show adaptation. But this is a beautiful edition. Folio Society did an outstanding job on this production. And yeah, that's pretty much all the books that I got in the month of February. So that's 30 books. I know it's a lot. It's a lot of books to talk about in one video, and I'm thankful that you watched the entirety of this video. But yeah, let me know what you think about all the books that I talk about in today's video. And again, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Bye-bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.